this is Will. If you just finished Lesson 4, then buckle up for Lesson 5. I'm so excited you are back with me today for this lesson. If you recently watched Lesson 4, then you know we covered those custody schedules where you would have your children less than 50%. Today we are going to talk about 50-50 custody schedule options. Let's begin with number 5, and we'll call this one 2 weeks on and 2 weeks off. In this example, your children would have 2 weeks with you and then switch and have 2 weeks with their mother. The children would switch parents every other Friday or Sunday, or whatever day of the week is jointly agreed, and at a jointly agreed upon time, both of which would be placed into the divorce agreement. In the example shown on the screen, the blue would be the days you would have your kids and the purple would be their mother. Pause the video and review this scenario so you understand how it works. Later in the video, we will discuss advantages and disadvantages with these custody schedules that you will want to think through as it pertains to your children and your own temperament and work schedule. Let's move on to number 6, and we'll call this week on, week off. In this arrangement, you will have your children for 1 week at a time and then their mother would have a week. Same stipulations as in the previous example number 5, where you would agree on an acceptable day of the week and time to switch parents. And as a reminder, you will also want to be sure that the time to switch is stated in the divorce agreement. Notice in this example that the time during the day to switch is 3 p.m. This would be whatever time the children get out of school. This works well so there isn't an exchange between you and their mother. You or she would simply pick the kids up from school. This schedule is a bit more straightforward, however, go ahead and pause the video and review so you understand how this one works. Again, what day and what time you pass the children between parents is entirely up to whatever you and their mother agree to. Don't worry if these seem confusing or all start to blend together. That's normal. This was all new for us too. None of us ever had to think about custody schedules. And even if we had friends going through the divorce process or they have kids on various custody schedules, we just don't have any comprehension of any of this until we are actually in this divorce situation. Alright, let's move on to number 7. This one is called the 3-4-4-3. This is where the children spend 3 days with you and then 4 days with their mother, and then it switches. Then you spend 4 days with your children followed by their mother getting 3 days. Some of the things to think about when deciding what custody schedule you prefer is to consider the amount of time you will be away from your children, as well as the amount of time they are away from you. Go ahead and pause the video so you can review the schedule. We are now moving on to number 8. This is called the 2-2-5-5 custody schedule. In this schedule, the children would spend 2 days with you, and then 2 days with their mother, followed by 5 days with you and then 5 days with their mother. Then this schedule repeats. This schedule has a blend of shorter and longer periods of time with each parent. The thing to notice about this schedule is that if you are in the blue, then you would have the children every Monday and Tuesday night. Or if having the kids in the pink every Wednesday and Thursday night is better for your lifestyle and work schedule, then you will want to simply consider which is better for you and or the kids. Go ahead and hit pause to take a look at how this schedule works. Let's move on to number 9. This schedule is called the 2-2-3. This is where the children spend 2 days with you, 2 days with their mother and then 3 days with you. Then the next week it switches. There is a bit more of schedule consistency with this schedule as the children would always know that on Monday, Wednesday and Friday they switch to a different parent. Hit pause and take a longer look at this one as you think through your situation. The last schedule option number 10 is simply alternating every 2 days. This is where the child is with one parent for 2 days, then they are with the other parent for 2, then it simply repeats. While these schedules are generally referring to the number of days you will get your kids, you can also think about it in terms of the number of evenings. This schedule may work for your situation, however, just realize that this one has the most movement between parents and the most switches for the children. Also notice the switches are Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday for 1 week, then the next week it's Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. The fact that the switches are different each week, it could lead to confusion for both you and the children. Also note that some of the switches are on Saturday, and that is generally a heavy activities day for the children. This could also be more disruptive for the parents, as you would have to adjust your schedule to be available as well. Hit pause and review this one for a moment. Well, there you have it. Lesson 4 and 5 have taken you through the top 10 custody schedule arrangements. The main point in detailing these out is to show you that there are options and you don't have to take any schedule that may be commonly advised. If you like these images, they can be found on www.custodyexchange.com. They have a lot of really good information on that website. Now that you can see all these different options on the table, how do you choose which one? You will be the only one who can truly answer that question based upon your own circumstances and how these may or may not fit into your work schedule, and also taking into consideration where you and your ex-wife plan to live. There are videos on this channel that will discuss other custody schedule options not discussed here. These videos will walk you through very specific custody options that are very specific to how you can develop much closer bonds with your children. Just remember, you and your soon-to-be ex-wife can agree on any custody arrangement. As long as you two agree, a judge isn't even going to look at your divorce agreement before it is signed and dated by the courts. The only time a judge would get involved in the details of a divorce agreement is if the divorce is a contested divorce. And those divorces that actually go to trial happens less than 10% of the time. There also isn't one best option for your children either. They will get used to whatever schedule is decided. I hope walking through each of these options was very helpful for you. The purpose of this video was to simply expose you to the different options available. In the next video, Lesson 6, we will get into some of the things that you will want to consider as you talk these through with your soon-to-be ex-wife. Do not go into those discussions without watching Lesson 6. Remember to hit subscribe, and if you like each of these videos, go ahead and hit the like button. Our goal is to help 1 million men, and the more people like our videos, the better chance they will have them come up in their searches. Also, if you hit the alert icon, then when we have a new video you will get notified. If you have watched Lesson 1 through 5, up to this point, hopefully you are starting to get educated and are starting to feel a little better about having things explained to you. We all remember going through the initial stages of the divorce process. You will be feeling emotions well beyond any you have ever felt in your entire life. Just take a deep breath. We are going to help you. We are going to give you information you need to know. Information that you could not know to ask. We can't tell you how many men we have spoken to who went through their entire divorce process and only knew 10% of the information they needed to know. These men are locked into situations they cannot change. While we can't guarantee that you won't find yourself in that situation, we are going to do our best to make sure that doesn't happen to you. Each divorce situation is completely different and no two are completely alike. However, everything in this video and on this channel are situations we are going to make you aware of, so you can have the confidence to apply as necessary to your situation. At one point, we had thought about working individually with men like you to help you evaluate your own unique divorce situation. However, having this information out in this manner will allow us to reach and impact a far greater number of men just like you. Our goal is to tip the scales back in favor of us men, as men are disadvantaged by the system, and all men should have an agreement that is equitable and not one where we are getting taken advantage. This is Will, signing off until next time.